All right, so this video is for those of you guys who are thinking of coming to visit Cali for the first time, and you're probably curious about which neighborhoods are best to stay at. So in this video, I'm going to try to help you out with that. I'm going to show you clips of each neighborhood and then explain to you, at least through my eyes, which neighborhood may best suit you. This first neighborhood on the list, I would say, is probably the most touristy, and that is San Antonio. This area is more traditional, so you're not going to see too many condos and high rises. I would say the majority of accommodations here are made up of hostels and like little small boutique type hotels. Also remember that this is the tourist area, so the restaurants here, you're going to have different types. You're going to have Mexican restaurants, Italian restaurants, tons of ice cream shops and gelato type, places, little bars. A lot of Colombians, or just a lot of people in general, at night usually head to San Antonio, not only to hang out at the park, but also to chill and grab a beer and just socialize. So I would say if you're somebody who's like on backpacker mode and people who are looking for more affordable accommodations, something like that, this area would be perfect for you. The second most popular neighborhood here in Cali amongst foreigners, I would say, would be Granada. And to do a comparison, the atmosphere in Granada reminds me of the atmosphere in, if anybody's familiar with the city of Medellin, the area called Parqueras. So basically in this area, you'll find tons of bars, tons of restaurants, nightclubs. So to sum up, if you're somebody who's coming down, let's say for 3 days, or you're coming down for a week and you kind of want to be near everything, I would say Granada. Or you're somebody who's like, look, I'm just coming down to party and that's it. I just want to enjoy the nightlife. Like, that's the main objective, is nightlife. Then again, Granada would be perfect for you. This third neighborhood is a really nice one that I like a lot. And if my bank account was set up a little different, I probably wouldn't mind staying here. And that neighborhood is called El Penon. To give you an idea of this area, the Hotel Dan Carlton is located in this neighborhood. And for anybody who's not familiar with this hotel, it's a luxury hotel, meaning you're gonna have to pay some money to stay here. So that kind of already gives you an idea of what sort of, what kind of people stay here. You're gonna see a ton of restaurants, but more of your upscale restaurants. Also, here's where you're gonna find a lot of your condos and high rises for those of you guys who like to live that kind of lifestyle. El Penon is located right in between San Antonio and Granada. So if you ever want to go to San Antonio and grab some ice cream or gelato or something like that and hang out, you can do that. Also, if you ever want to go to Granada and turn up, hit up one of the nightclubs, the salsa bars, you're very close. So the location of El Penon is one of the best as well. So if you're somebody who, when you travel, you like to stay in one of the nicest areas, part of town, you like to be near upscale restaurants, that's just kind of your style when you travel, I think El Penon will be perfect for you. The last three areas I got done talking about were in the north, northwest to be exact. We're gonna head a little south to what I call Central Cali, and we're gonna talk about two more neighborhoods. And so the first one is Miraflores. Now, if anybody's familiar with the neighborhood outside of Medellin called Envigado, Miraflores reminds me of Envigado in a sense that it's basically residential. So you're gonna find tons of houses, tons of apartment complexes. This area is very chill. To me, this area is for people who are on that like exchange student kind of vibe. Like, you want to stay in a regular neighborhood without all the bells and whistles. You really want that Colombian kind of area, right? You're not really trying to be in the middle of the action and stuff like that. Although there are some stuff around here. I'm not saying it's like crazy boring, but just it's very residential in my opinion. If you stay in Miraflores, my only advice would be stay near the Parque del Perro, which means dog park, because this is an area that has a ton of restaurants. They have some clubs, eateries, ice cream places, and they got supermarkets as well, so you're kind of near things, whereas there are other parts of Miraflores where I feel like you're kind of out and about in no man's land. And there are foreigners here, so you're not going to be all by yourself. It's just very residential. The last neighborhood we're going to talk about is where I stay, and it's a neighborhood called San Fernando. And I don't know if Miraflores and San Fernando are kind of like the same or whatever, but just for this video, Miraflores is its own neighborhood and San Fernando is its own neighborhood. But to do a comparison, San Fernando, for anybody who's familiar with Medellin, the neighborhood called Laureles, San Fernando, in my opinion, is basically like Laureles. One, it's a flat neighborhood, so it's very walkable. Two, they have the soccer stadium here, so you're close if you want to go watch the games. Also, you can work out here, which is why I love staying here, because I go to the track almost every day and just go work out. So that's another great thing. And thirdly, this place, if you're coming to Cali and you're thinking of doing like salsa classes, I would say the majority of salsa schools are in this area, if not nearby. So it's also another great area for those who are coming down to work on your, your salsa steps. And yeah, there's not really much else to say. It's a local area, and don't get it twisted. A lot of people equate local with hood or poor, which is not always the case. There's another part of town I wanted to just touch briefly on, and that's South Cali. And from what I was told from a buddy, South Cali is where the majority of expats stay, which I can see why. I actually spend a lot of time down there because they have two malls, Unicentro and Jardín Plaza, and then they have like 5 or 6 universities. So, sometimes I try to go down there, find me a little something. But for the most part, it's a very active area and it's very nice. So for those of you guys who may be thinking about living in Cali in the future, I would just say, just don't rule out South Cali. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it. I hope the video has helped some of you guys who are thinking about coming down here. And again, if you have any questions, just let me know. And I appreciate you watching the video, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Deuces.